Okay, let's move on to triangle similarity. We have some reasons or some rules that allow us to say that two triangles are similar. Okay, these look like the congruent statements, but they are not for congruent, they are for similarity. So, first of all, if you have two angles, so angle-angle similarity, if you have two angles in one triangle that are congruent to two angles in another triangle, the two triangles are similar. Okay, they're not congruent, they're similar. Just like we talked about earlier, where the sides are proportional. So down here in example 1, let's see if I can get this. Okay, so in example 1, it says determine if the example below are similar by angle. If yes, we're going to write down the statement. Triangle such and such, similar, triangle such and such. Okay, so are these two triangles similar? Well, let's figure out the angles. This one's 75 and this one's 74. This one's 75 and this one's 31. So let's figure out the third angle in both of those and see if we can have a match. So in this case, we'd have to go 180 minus 74 minus 75. So what's that going to be? I think that is 31 degrees. So yeah, we do have similar triangles because we don't need to figure out the third one over here, which is going to be 74. But note that 75 and 31 match with 75 and 31. So this would be yes, they are similar by angle. And the statement, if we write the left one first, we don't have to write the left triangle first, but if we do, we'll say triangle, let's say ABC, similar to, remember the similar symbol, triangle, so if it's ABC, then it's going to have to go DEF, it looks like. Okay. And this next one, are they similar? Well, I have an angle here. Oh, we do have vertical angles, so that's something we had to figure out on our own there. So we have vertical angles, so we have two angles congruent to two angles in this triangle, so yes. They are similar by angle. So let's do a statement of triangle, and I'll do this one here on the left. Let's go WXV is similar to triangle, then that would have to make us go ZXY. Okay. Now we get the idea. Let's go to side. Okay, so for side, I'll put that right in the middle. So for side, that means three sides are proportional to three sides of the other triangle. Not congruent, proportional. So if you can set up the ratios or the fractions equal to each other and the cross products equal, that means they're proportional. And if the sides of one triangle are proportional to the sides of the other triangle, then yes, by side, they would be proportional. So let's go to this first example here. Let's see, QP is going to match with TS, it looks like. PR with SU, and then QR with TU. Just by the way the triangles are drawn, it looks like those are the ones that match up, okay? So let's go with 3/6 as a ratio, and 4/8, and 5/10. Do those all reduce to be the same thing? Do they all have the same scale factor? Are all those fractions equal to each other? Yes, those all equal 1/2. So since that is true, these sides are proportional, which means they are similar by side similarity. So let's write a statement. Triangle let's go with, what, QPR, similar to triangle. If it's QPR, then I have to go TSU. All right, now let's go to the next one. Let's match up the sides. It looks like they're drawn so that we could match them up just for the sake of doing our ratios here. And if you notice that if you're not sure, you match up the smallest with the smallest, okay? The second smallest, or the middle one with the middle number, the ones, and the largest with the largest. That's how you'd match them up, because that's how they'd have to be drawn. Okay, so 30 over 24 should equal, so 32 would go with what, 25? And 35 would go with 28. So I matched up smallest with this one, and largest and the middle one. Now, divide all those. What's 30 divided by 24? 30 divided by 24, that's 1.25. 32 divided by 25, that is 1.28. Okay, so this isn't going to work. And the other one, 35 divided by 28, is 1.25. Okay, so two of the sides work, but not all three. Not all three are proportional. So this is not similar. Okay. Because that had to, those all have to have the same scale factor. Or if you do the cross product, they would all have to equal the same. They would have to all equal each other. Okay. All right, side angle side. So this one, you have to have an angle. It says if two corresponding sides, so corresponding sides like the previous example where the sides are proportional, and you have to have an angle in between those two sides that's congruent. So proportional sides and a congruent angle. And let's see, then, so we're gonna do the same thing, match them up, see if the sides fit their proportion, and then make sure the angle's in between those two sides, and if it works, then we write down the similarity statement. So let's see. We have an angle between the two sides, so let's match up. So smallest with smallest and next with next. So 8 over 6, for this to work, that would have to equal 20 over 15. So 8 over 6, so what is that? 4 to 3. Okay, so, and they both are 4 over 3, yeah. So, or if you cross multiply, 6 times 20 is 120, 8 times 15 is also 120. So they both equal 4 over 3. And the angle in between them is congruent, so that's yes. By side angle side similarity. Now the statement would be triangle. Let's go with KJL. Similar to triangle NMP. So that's the top one. All right, this next one. We have to note what's being marked here. So 25 is this whole length from A to B. So the triangles that we're working with here would be ABC and ADE, those two triangles. Now one's written inside of the other, but we have to make note of what's what here. So from A to B in that triangle is 25, and that's going to match up with AD in this triangle. So we have the smaller triangle, and then we have this bigger triangle. Didn't draw that very well, but okay. So AD, which is 15, would match up with AB, which is 25. And, let's see. This side would be what? AC, which is 21, and AE, which is 12. Okay. So let's see. If I reduce or cross multiply, what's 15? I'll just do it this way. 15 times 12, that's 180. What's 25 times 21? Doing the cross product. That's 525. That's not going to work. 15 divided by 25, if I reduce the fraction, this one's 0.6, just to see if they're the same. 21 divided by 12, that's 1.75. That's not going to work. Or did I write those backwards? Oh. I went 15 over 25. I got to do that backwards. Back it up, back it up. Back it up, back it up, back it up. I've got to make this 12 over 21. Okay. So what's 12 divided by 21? 12 divided by 21. 0.5, yeah. So 25 times 12 and 15 times 21. Yeah, those are still different, so not similar. All right, sorry for that mistake, but it should be 15 over 25 equals 12 over 21. Because 15 over the whole thing 25 and 12 over the whole thing 21. I just wrote it backwards to begin with. So, make that change, okay? But either way, well, I should have done it right the first time. I just miswrote. Sorry. But the ratios are not the same, so it's not similar. Okay, let's see. So on your practice for 17.3, on your practice, it's the same thing. Are they similar? Okay, so you're going to set up the proportions and figure out which rule, angle, angle, side, 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 or side, angle, side, similarity, decide whether they're similar or not, and then write down the similarity statement. Okay, so for all of 17.3, you might have to do a little bit of, you might have to, use like the 3 angles in a triangle equal 180. Just some things to make sure that you have all the information. Like on number 7 here, find that third angle, okay, and see if you have angles that match up or congruent angles. If you do, then that would be angle angling. So, all right, that's 17.3.